Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I recently purchased a deployant clasp that is unlike any other clasp that I've seen in person. So I purchased this because other deployant clasps that I've worn are not very comfortable, and I'll get back to that later in this video. But this one was a completely different design, so I decided to take a chance on it. Let's look at that tonight. So generally, I actually prefer tang buckles to deployant clasps because they just look classy and dressy. In fact, I have a whole bin of buckles, and some of my favorites are these, which came from the buckle guy or the watch buckle site, whatever it's called. I'll put a link to it in the description below. However, ever since COVID, they don't ship to the US anymore. So I'm unable to purchase these anymore, which is really sad. But I have some wide buckles in 18 millimeters. I have one of these in 16 millimeters. This is pretty cool. And you can't mess with the Movado buckle. That is so cool. But I've done a video on tang buckles because I use these to micro adjust my leather straps. So I will try to find buckles that are longer or shorter than other ones. And if the strap doesn't fit quite right, I'll just swap out the buckle until it's absolutely dialed in. And I even have a growing collection of 14 millimeter buckles, because now I have some straps with extreme tapers on them, and one or two really small straps. I even have a couple of new arrivals in 16 and 14. But tonight we're talking about these deployant clasps. This is a Longines branded one. Not really a Longines buckle because it wasn't $100 or something crazy like that, so it's a Franken clasp. But I bought it for my Longines Dolce Vita, thinking it would be cool to have some Longines branding on a deployant clasp on that watch. However, this just didn't quite size right with the strap that I have on there. And this is an example of the ones that I find a bit uncomfortable. So how it works is you put this piece where the buckle would go. Then you slide the other side of the strap through this and lock it down where you want it. Then you could slide it on and off your wrist and close it up like this. However, the problem is these release buttons. I find that they dig into my wrist because I wear my watches fairly snug, and it's just not very comfortable at all. I also have one without branding, and it's the same design, although this one has a standard spring bar here, which is really nice. On the Longines, it's a friction fit pin, so you have to kind of pound this pin out anytime you want to swap it out. This one is much easier. So, what kind of deployant clasp did I end up purchasing? Well, I currently have it on my Tudor, and here it is. It took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out how to use this thing because it's such a crazy design. So you slide the non-buckle side of your strap through this here and underneath. And this pin here holds it in place. Now on this side is where it gets really crazy, because you have a spring bar on the top of the buckle here, and then it closes like this. So you can see that the release buttons are no longer pressing into your wrist. They're way up here, which is nice. It's much more comfortable. So the upside of this is that, and also, if you have a long strap and you're weird like me and don't like seeing it wrapping it all the way around your wrist, this clasp actually hides it underneath here. So this will be great because I do have some longer than I prefer shell Cordovan straps. This one actually isn't one of them. This one fits pretty well. So I may end up going back to my tang buckle for the Tudor at least. So yeah, it's more comfortable. It hides your strap, which is nice. The downside is this looks really weird. And secondly, you'll notice that there isn't a fixed keeper here. And if your strap does have one, like most straps do, I feel like this is going to look even weirder. So yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. I think functionally, it's a much better design. It's much more wearable. It is kind of thick on this side here. But these ones have a similar issue where they kind of hold the strap away from your wrist and it looks a little bit odd. So they're kind of even on that point, but I think the main problem is this right here. It just looks weird, and yeah, if there was a loop here, that would just be really bizarre looking. And I mean, you could remove that loop, but then you've permanently altered your strap. And what if you decide you don't like this anymore and want to go back to a tang buckle? Well, now you don't have a fixed keeper there anymore. So, I don't know. I may keep my eyes open for yet other designs, and we'll see what I encounter. There are some that kind of look like the clasps you see on bracelets, something more akin to this. But those actually attach onto a leather strap. I haven't tried those out yet, but they are intriguing. I just feel almost like it's sort of a weird aesthetic because you have a dressy, in my case, a dressy looking strap with a sporty looking buckle on it. So I haven't really been too interested in those, but like I said, they are intriguing. So let's see what this clasp looks like on a watch when you're wearing it. I'm wearing the F77. Still loving this watch. Let me take this off. Another thing to note is this is a lot easier to put on than the other ones. With this style of deployant clasp, you have your non-buckle side of your strap here, and the strap itself sticks out like this. And so you have to kind of close it butterfly style, but you have to work this piece through the keepers of the strap as you close it, because if you try and do, I keep doing this upside down. Let me fix that. So you have your strap sticking out here, and as you're closing it, it's best to try and feed it through the keepers at that time, because once it's closed, you really have to bend that strap around to get it back through those. However, this one, you don't have that problem at all. The extra strap is down under here, and you simply close it. So here it is on the Tudor. But yeah, in this case, this strap is fairly short, so I'll probably put it back on the tang buckle, because with this on it, it kind of lengthens this side of the strap a little too much. And the watch kind of wears over on this side of my wrist because of that. But this will be great on some of my Rios shell Cordovan straps that I never really wear. But they do have fixed keepers, so we'll see how that looks. I may actually try removing one of those keepers and just put this on that strap permanently. But yeah, it was pretty affordable. I found it on Etsy. If I can find something similar to this on Amazon, I'll put a link to that in the description below. It will be an affiliate's link, but yeah. Ah, the tutor. So there you have it, the crazy deployant clasp that I purchased on Etsy. Thanks for watching.